shimmering free souls here. Thank you for joining me on this voyage. Please come and see me between January and May in 2022. I'm all over the UK, but particularly Hammersmith, Margate, Aylesbury. You'll love seeing me there. We'll have a real romp, a real riot. Please God, everything will be okay. Particularly in this free democracy we live in, the cornerstone of which, as you know, are free elections. Let's examine those free elections, the pledges, promises, slogans, paraphernalia, right now, using the old noggins. David Sirota and Andrew Perez, writing in Jacobin, say, America's real democracy crisis is this. Corporations use a system of legalised bribery to buy public policy, which prevents popular progressive policies from passing and erodes Americans' faith in their government. But otherwise okay? In 2014, Northwestern and Princeton researchers published a report statistically documenting how lawmakers do not listen or care about what most voters want. Was you listening to that? No. Do you care what they've said? No. Oh, well, you're in the perfect position to make law for those people that you don't care about or listen to, and instead mostly care about serving their big donors. What? Serving big donors? But the voting, the phrases, the flag waving, the jumping up and down on the car, all for nothing. Like, imagine when you see those celebrations happen. In my country, a big one was when Tony Blair got in. Everyone was acting like Jesus had come back, Jesus with a guitar. This is going to be great. This is going to be brilliant. It wasn't brilliant. It was the same as usual, with perhaps one or two more wars against Iraq. What about when Biden got in? Yes, Biden. What about that bit when someone said his big long light arms are out cuddling America and all this stuff?
It's like almost extensions of Joe Biden's arms embracing America.
It's just absolute codswallop where big donors determine policy and all of us get to do the dancing. I hope you enjoy the dancing because it's the only thing that actually matters. Coupled with additional research documenting the discrepancy between donor and voter preferences, they bluntly concluded that the preferences of the average American appear to have only a minuscule, near zero, statistically non-significant impact upon public policy. Minuscule. That's one of the most insulting words in the English language. Statistically non-significant. You can't even make a statistic out of it. And they love statistics. 7 years later, America is witnessing a very public and explicit illustration of this situation in real time. And recent election results are the latest confirmation that the country seems pretty ticked off about the situation ahead of the 2022 midterms. In America's nationalised politics, those elections were dominated by headlines from Washington, where President Joe Biden and Democratic lawmakers have spent months agreeing to whittle down their social spending reconciliation bill at the demand of corporate donors and their congressional puppets. Whittling it. Oh, it's a little whittle that down till it's nothing but a little toothpick, little proddy thing. The cuts almost perfectly spotlight the democracy crisis. Indeed, the specific initiatives being slashed or watered down in Biden's agenda bill share two traits. One, they would require the wealthy and powerful to sacrifice a bit of their wealth and power. Oh no, I'm wealthy and I'm powerful. My wealth and power, those are the things that define me. And two, they are quite literally the most popular proposals among rank and file voters. Wow, so if something's popular among rank and file voters, that's everybody, but not popular among powerful, wealthy people, it don't matter. It's irrelevant. The whole thing really takes place outside of a space that you can engage in. Guy Debord, of course, the French situationist writer in the late 60s, described situationism as a means of potential protest by creating situations that disrupt ordinariness because of the spectacle of regular life. That regular life has become this spectacle that you observe. And nothing more than an American election demonstrates that theatrical, cinematic, detached, spectacular phenomenon. You're just watching something. You can pretend you're participating. You can pretend you're pontificating. You can even be a pundit commentating. But you ain't doing nothing. You're watching. A top priority for voters is allowing Medicare to negotiate prescription drug prices, with 72% saying they support the idea. So that's almost everyone. That's beyond any political party or either political party. People say, why don't we have reasonably priced drugs? So that if you lived in a democracy, that would definitely happen. But hear this. Kristen Sinema, friend of the show, and a few House Democrats backed by the pharmaceutical industry managed to block the party's original drug pricing measure from being put into the reconciliation bill. We've done videos on Kristen Sinema and how she accepts money from lobbyists. You can watch that video. I'll point to it at the end of the show. In November, Democrats announced they had reached a deal on a drug pricing plan, which Politico described as far weaker than the Democrats' promised legislation. Far weaker. It's almost not the same plan at all. One industry analyst said the deal seems designed to let legislators claim an achievement while granting farmer protection.